I was fucking masturbating everywhere with my friends. I came on a rock one time in my friend's basement. There was like a rock, like it was a green rock or something. I don't know.
All right, and you feel free to take a nice big old bite of that apple. Sell the brand. All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today, Robby. I'm really excited to have you as part of the series and to get a chance to chat with you about these subjects today.
Dude, I'm excited to be here. Hi, my name is Robby Apples, and I'm originally from Seattle, Washington. Robby Apples from Seattle is a guy who had extreme social anxiety when he was younger, and then had a profound magic mushroom experience when he was 21 that told him that he is the creator of his reality. So then he decided to set out on a path of being the most awesome, loving version of himself and to conquer his social anxiety by becoming a porn star.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack with this. What were some of the things that led you towards, dipping into psychedelics to kind of help you have that epiphany, and what were, maybe just walk us through what that epiphany ended up leading you towards when it came to getting into the industry?
Suicidal depression. It backfired beautifully. I hit rock bottom with my depression around 21, and up until that point I had grown up being pretty much a straight edge. I wasn't like a straight edge, like I didn't know what a straight edge was, but I was like, fuck drugs and alcohol. I want to be the best skateboarder that I can be, because the only way that I'm going to have a happy life is if I become a professional skateboarder. Professional skateboarding wasn't looking like it was going to work out for me. And I went through a pretty rough breakup, and it just like, the depression was just starting to consume me. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, I'm just going to throw my life away with drugs because I can't take this pain anymore. And I need to not care about what happens to my mom when I die. And so I started smoking pot because that was the easiest one for me to get a hold of. And I was like, oh, here we go. I'm going to move on to harder drugs eventually. I'm going to start with pot. 2 weeks into smoking pot, I had no more suicidal thoughts. And I had a huge boost of curiosity about life. And then I was like, oh my God, like this might be my chance at having a good life. So then I started doing all this research because my mom's a nurse, and I knew that I was going to have to go up against her and be like, look, there's like science, like this is helping me with my brain chemistry or whatever. Along the way, I started getting into science and philosophy, and then I found Terrence McKenna. He was saying so many brilliant things that were blowing my mind, and then he started talking about magic mushrooms. And I was like, what the fuck? Why is this brilliant guy doing magic mushrooms? Don't they make your brain bleed? And as soon as I said that to myself, I was like, wait, I was wrong about cannabis. What if I'm wrong about magic mushrooms? So then I did a bunch of research on them, found out that they're non-toxic, that you would have to ingest around 2 pounds of them to reach the toxic threshold. So I was like, okay, physiologically I'll be fine. So here, let me listen to this guy on how to do them properly so that I can have guidance for my life. And so that was how I went into my first trip, was with this intention of like, hey, fucking help me, dude. I'm a human and I'm fucking struggling, and I got one little ounce of like, oh, I might actually have a good life. Like, so then my first magic mushroom trip, it felt like my head had split open and I was watching the universe flow through me, and it kept telling me everything is everything and showing me how I've been connected to everything since the dawn of time, since that we were all stardust. And this is just recycling over and over again. And then it sat me in what felt like a movie theater room in my head and replayed my life back for me and just showed me that I had been a complete asshole to myself. And it was like, you don't have to have these problems unless you want these problems. You are the creator of your reality. You're doing this to yourself. They told me to surround myself with love and I would be protected by the universe and nothing good would come of alcohol. And so from that moment on, I was like, okay, well, fuck old Robby. Fuck that guy. That guy's doing me no good. So I wiped the slate clean and I was like, who do I want to be? Like, who is the person that I want to be? I want to be the most awesome, loving version of myself that I can be, and I want to spread this to everyone else, because everyone needs to be able to climb out of the hell that I climbed out of.
Wow.
Yeah, my path of getting into the industry was just kind of, the cards just fell that way, and I just took the opportunity when it landed there. I don't think initially I thought of it as like, oh, this is the next big challenge for me to really conquer the last bit of my social anxiety. After this mushroom trip, I was just like, I need to lean myself into anything that feels like fire. I need to lean into it and deal with it. I grew up being a skateboarder. Like if there was like something really hard, I would faceplant and I would get up and do it again until I didn't faceplant. So I just started attacking my social anxiety like that. And one of the first things that just magically landed in my lap was being a stripper. I said, this is really funny because this is like weird synchronicity. So I'm working at a pizza bar and I'm talking to my coworker, Chloe, and she's like, I'm going to turn you into a fucking stripper. You were a born stripper. Like, I know strippers. You were meant to fucking strip. And she's like, I'm going to fucking pimp you out. 30 minutes later, I take my break, and my friend from high school calls me up and is like, hey, like, I'm calling around, and everyone said that you would do this. Like, my aunt is getting married, and we need a stripper for her bachelorette party. So I walked back into work, and I was like, Chloe, we're in business. Like, I just got our first gig. Like, this is insane. There was a big moment where I realized, like, oh, I'm fucking doing it. I had, like, 50 girls in the sorority house, and at the end of the dance session, the stripping session, one of the seniors came up to me and was like, hey, they want to know more about you. And I stood up in front of all of them in a fucking G-string. It was just like, oh yeah, my name's Robby and I'm going to the Art Institute of Seattle and and not even realizing that I'm in a G-string in front of 50 girls just confidently talking about my life. And I just was just like, oh, you're fucking doing it, buddy. You're fucking doing it. So that was a big moment for me in my progress, but I wanted to be doing this more consistently. And so one of my friends who was a bartender, he was like, dude, you need to work at the gay club, which was, it was like a block down the road. He signed me up one day and didn't tell me. And I think I was washing dishes that night and had the worst pair of underwear on. Like there were literally holes in it and bleach stains. And he tells me halfway through my shift that we have to, like, as soon as we shut down the bar, we have to run down there so that I can enter the strip dancing competition. So I called every gay friend that I had and was like, hey, does anyone have any briefs, like nice looking briefs that I can borrow? And I had one friend from school come through, and then we went down there, and I won the strip dancing competition, and then I became a go dancer. And so I was really shy about dancing. Like with the stripping for the girls, like I would just set them in a chair and just grind on them. But like now I'm having to dance in front of people. And so I had to wear sunglasses. I couldn't have anyone look me in the eye. And I was just afraid all these gay boys were just going to make fun of me. They're like, this guy can't fucking dance. And so I used to have to hold on to the railings and I would just fucking gyrate. I could just like hump, like, okay, I can hump the air to the beat. And then there was the progression of like, oh, okay, I can let go of the railings. Oh, okay, I can take off my sunglasses. Like, okay, like I'm confident now. I fucking own this place. So yeah, conquered the gay club, and then got into a relationship, and then she got into the industry. And then her agent thought that I was cute and wanted to give me a try. And then I started doing this. And this was a big test, being able to fuck someone that you don't know in front of a bunch of people that you don't know, and having no guidelines on etiquette or like how to help yourself in situations. Like you're just lost. Like there's no handbook getting into this. And that was a lot, and it brought up a lot of old insecurities. And it was like, oh, have you conquered these? Like, let's see, like they're coming up again. But I kept at it and just kept face planning until I stopped face planning. Yeah. And here we are.
How many years have you been in the industry at this point?
9 years this month.
Wow, 9 years.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Well, I remember I'd always watch a bit of porno in the kitchen before school, and I had one of my high school friends. He would come and pick me up to drive me to school. And I remember, because there's a window, the computer's right here, and he was walking across our deck, and he instantly knew what I was doing. And he was like, come on, man, like, right in the morning, like, you couldn't wait? You couldn't wait until after school. I mean, fuck, dude. I was fucking masturbating everywhere with my friends. I came on a rock one time in my friend's basement. There was like a rock, like it was a green rock or something. I don't know.
What was it about the rock that?
I just wanted like the excitement of no one knows that I'm doing this and I'm going to come on this rock and then everyone's gonna lose their shit. And so I pretty much like there was like a group of like 8 of us or something playing video games in the basement. And no one knew that I was like turned around and I was just gonna come on this man, I never masturbate unless I go on vacation. Like unless I'm away from the industry, because I work so much when I'm not working, like I want to be doing something else besides sex. Like I adequately fill my sex needs. No need to masturbate. I need to go and do some art or something else.
How often would you say you did it back then?
A lot. a lot.
Like as much as you work now, you were masturbating before?
Yeah, if not more. Yeah, probably more. Like at least once a day, if not more. And then like the younger we go, like the counts go higher. Like it's like more times a day. I think they're kind of vintage. I think they're kind of like 90s, like European, like double penetration on the beach. Like they're just like driving around having fun in Europe and then they go down to the beach and it's a double penetration. I don't know why that is like, that's my go-to. European beach double penetration.
All right, so let's deep dive. Why do you think that is your ultimate fantasy?
Well, I love being outside. I love having sex outside. I'm a bit of a hippie, so I love nature and I love feeling like a free animal. I love serving women. I love giving them as much pleasure as possible. And I think for my young mind, double penetration, that's gotta be that's like my young mind's idea of like the ultimate pleasure for a woman. Well, she's got 2 cocks like going in her, so this has to be incredible for her. I can't imagine what that feels like. I think my love for other human beings trumps everything. It like trumps anything that I'm going through. I negate everything that I'm going through so that I can be a supportive love vessel for another person. I just want to be the most awesome, loving version of myself, and I want to try and connect other people to that. And that's what I really aim for when I have a sex scene with someone. Like I'm trying to go on that level. But yeah, a really weird thing in this industry is like some people are not super open. Like that was a really strange thing for me to encounter when I first got in the industry. I don't encounter it too often, but like people that have walls, like energetic walls up, and it kind of feels icky, like energetically icky to be having sex with them, because for me, all my systems are telling me this person does not want to have sex with me, but that's what we came here to do. It's so weird. It was a strain on the system. I used to do these sacral chakra meditations because I would get like their blockages. Maybe, I don't know. That's my assumption. But the sacral chakra meditations really helped, so that then I could keep showing up to work and being like, oh no, like I'm an awesome being full of light and love. Here, come here, suck my dick. Yeah, man, that's messed up. It's your body is your birthright. Like this is your vessel to traverse this terrain, this life. Yeah, we're on a rock flying through the universe. Like these human rules and ideas, like you need to question them all. You need to question what ideas and beliefs you inherited and whether or not they're serving you. Because they can really put you in a prison and hold you back from experiencing the full spectrum that life has to offer. And I think that's what we came here to do, is to explore ourselves, have a greater understanding of ourselves and what it means to be us. And I feel like if you're in a situation where there are these weird rules like that, like I think you really have to question it, because I don't think it does any good for you. Because it's such a natural thing, masturbation. First thing that comes to mind is if you touch your butthole, you're gay.
Why do you think men have such a fear of that?
Generational insecurities that are passed down, cultural insecurities that are passed down. Yeah, these culturally laid barriers of thought. I mean, we have a culture that has so much, it's rooted in so much toxic masculinity that it's like, no, like masculinity is this one way, like, and if you step outside the boundaries of this, you're not masculine. And so you grow up as a little boy having this, like, you know, those fucking boundaries are very clear, like from an early age, like, oh fuck, okay, like I have to be like strong and tough in every situation, like all the time, otherwise I'm gonna get, you know, cast aside or like made fun of, or, you know, things like that. So there's like, especially when it comes to the sexual boundaries of, you know, their defined version of masculinity, you really don't want to fucking mess around with that. It really puts you in a prison. And that's really fucked, man.
How do you get past that?
How did I get past it?
Yeah, well, how did you get past that? And then what advice would you have for all of us to be able to get past that?
I would question things, like the whole butthole thing. Like, I mean, I remember I was at my grandma's beach house and I found a Cosmopolitan and I was reading it, and there was an article on like, hey ladies, you want to give your man an amazing blowjob? Put your finger in his ass. And I was like, what? Like, holy shit. So then I started trying that and it was incredible. And so I was like, anything that I really liked and I thought was the cultural definitions about it were wrong, I'd be like, this is fucking stupid. Like, how is this gay? Like, it's my own butthole. Like there's no other guy involved. I'm the only guy here. It's not gay. So I was pretty outspoken about things like that. I took a Ziploc bag and put it between the cushions of a couch. And I don't know what I used for lube, because I don't think I had lube at this time. But there was something in there. And so then you could put your dick in and you could like hump the couch and your dick's going into something that doesn't feel as good as a vagina. I think I tried sticking my dick in peanut butter too. That didn't work out.
I'd imagine it'd be hard to do the thrusting, right? Because
yeah, it was
very sticky.
I instantly realized it was a bad idea. Yeah, well, I'm a very healthy person. Like, health is like the utmost thing for me. Because I hate, you know, coming from such a dark background, I hate any of the darkness of life that can get stuck to you. And the more healthy you are, the less likely you can start collecting the dirt of life. And so health is a tool for everything for me. Yeah, I take care of myself. Like, I eat really well. Like, I don't eat sugary things. I don't eat processed things. I eat real food. I don't drink sodas. I don't drink alcohol. Yeah, I do cold plunges all the time. Those are really great. I do breath work. I do meditation. Do yoga. Bike riding. You know, just general fitness. Yeah, it's amazing how the physical body and the mind are so intertwined. Like, if you take care of your physical body, your mind has a much easier time navigating life and not collecting that energetic dirt. No one knows what the fuck they're doing here on Earth. We are all children of children, and no one has a goddamn clue. And we're all making it up as we go along, and the most unfair thing that other humans do is project their own insecurities, own inadequacies, and fears onto other people that have to bear them as they grow up into this world. And then you're lost with this shame that you don't know what to do with. Yeah, the path through it is self-love. You deserve to have self-love. And you have to go through that, like, and let go of whatever. Like, nothing matters but that self-love. Go towards that. Let that be your guiding light. And everything good will come to you.